Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to another 2024 League match. Today I am playing as Dracula versus Skybreaker 96. It, okay, fun. So let's see how he'll begin. So, two vampires, a bat, a mob, and a saboteur. Okay. Unfortunately, there's no neutral commentator today, or if there is, I'm unaware of it. Do I try more or less the same thing as I did with Strider? Go for like a Hamburg, then wind down through Britain with delaying stuff? Well, there's nothing I particularly want to mature, unless I start with a vamp, which is not my personal playstyle. We'll go with a... I think... We'll go with starting in Florence and placing my first one in Rome. We'll go with that route. Rome is admittedly not adequately deep for it to escape a charred carriage, but that's the thing. I don't mind if they get it, but that's spending an event. And since I'm not going to be placing a rumor token on it, as I'm likely going to start with, I suppose, the mob, since that's the damaging one I've got. Although, since I have a bat and a saboteur, perhaps I should. And there are very few other ways to approach Rome. Perhaps I should. Like, hide at Rome. Putting down a saboteur after a vampire, and then placing bats in Florence. Except I suppose I would likely put the bats at Florence rather than at Genoa rather than Florence, as that's a far more likely stopping point. Yeah, it is unusual for me to start off with a vampire, but do I do it? Great strength. Good to know about that. And of course, this means that it'll be that orchestrating any hunter kill through combat is going to be difficult. So here I have to come to a decision. Do I start with a vamp, or do I do my usual thing of just dancing around? Yeah, this is definitely a lot of protection for it, so I think I will. I'll start with a reckless, since that's the one where if it doesn't mature, it still has the chance to get me some points. So, yeah, I'll start with that. Then go to Florence, place down one of the mobs, I suppose. Or no. Uh, so first I hide, then uh, then I hide, place saboteur, go to Florence. Although, I suppose I'll wolf form to Genoa, as it won't seem too odd putting wolf form after a vampire, as I am going to rumor it. So, and plus that makes me dodge the CG nuke spots. The fact that Mia has dogs is troubling, because if she keeps those dogs, the saboteur that I'm about to place here, it won't have any effect. Apart from making her discard the dogs, that is. But, I mean, the chance of her keeping that particular dogs is definitely low. I wonder if he'll end up searching like central locations, since I am definitely known for being a central Drac player. Bari and Varna. Makes sense. As those are definitely extremities that is not atypical for folks to check scouts. So, in case any are wondering and are just woefully behind on the 24 league, why am I facing Scott Eyebreaker? Didn't I face him already as drag? And yes, we faced each other. I we faced each other in the first round, but since the third and fourth rounds have been based off of performance, has been performing well enough to the point where he's caught up to me. Well, that where he at least nearly caught up to me in score by end of round 3. We already played the matchup where I was Hunters, and I already played Strider as Drac, so it's definitely tricky to know what to do here. And since I won both, and here's the thing: if I win this game, or either this game or my Hunter match versus Strider, I shall be guaranteed a spot in the top 4, which gives me safe passage through the first knockout phase, the first round of the knockout phase. That is. Play misdirect, then hide. Place a saboteur here. A spy. Okay. So next turn I wolf form to Genoa, so as to be able to just not risk an early CG nuking me if he were to be lucky enough to pick me up. I mean, there's no newspaper right this instant that will be able to reveal me. And he has to scout specifically Rome, since there's nothing else on the trail. Two pistols, alright. So where do I go after Genoa? After Genoa, I'll likely just be throwing down random things until I have a nice strong hand again. So Genoa, I place down the bats to help the vampire mature. The dangerous thing about going to Genoa is in the event something like Goldaming having drawn all three horses by now, and he wants to go across the sword, is one of the first things he'll do is train down to Genoa. So it's definitely, that's the reason I'm putting the delaying encounter there, for the record. Because it's so much a well-traveled location that, of course, it's going to be. He stepped on. The only exception is if he ends up having horses ready by then. So perhaps I should go to Venice and play, and if possible, play something delaying there as well. Possibly a spy, weaken them. In that case, perhaps should I wolf form to Venice instead? Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Well, yeah. I will from there place down a spy, for in case it's horses that they go by, and then place the bats in the slightly, in my opinion, slightly more likely location. Yeah, the wolf form won't hold all that much obscurity, but it's merely a means for me to avoid Florence. Scanning, okay. That seems to imply that he has reasonable ticket economy. Go ahead and place down the spy. Oh, shame. I was considering that was a possibility. That perhaps I should place bats in case I top deck bats. But that was odds too narrow for me to feel that would be all that justified. But it is a shame. I suppose I can also go. I'll also put one at Milan, where I will likely go after Genoa. And I suppose, because I hardly want to step in Marseille, I am keeping dangerously within horse range, but well, this early, escaping as a bat, and or just using strengths and mesmerizes to eventually escape as mist, is not that hard. Is not too hard. And this is the time of game where they'll have mostly like stakes. They will definitely have. At this point, if they don't have a stake by now, that's just extremely bad luck. So. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this semi-Italy start, this mid-Italy start is something that I haven't used this tournament yet. So, hopefully it will help me go undetected for a little bit longer. mean, he didn't get perfect time newspaper. I mean, that's good news. But the thing is, tomorrow since I hid for my second move, it'll still be perfect within the perfect. It won't be perfect, but it'll still show all of the stuff up to there. And that's the problem with doing hide first like that. Okay, showing a stake now. So, yeah. In the event it's Mina who gets to roam first, I know to ambush her. Unless, I mean, it depends on when they get there and whether or not whether or not he has another dogs or, ends up having a forewarned to forewarn the saboteur. I don't know. But then again, if you were to forewarn the saboteur, I definitely wouldn't especially mind. Yeah, forewarn being spent on a saboteur. Now that's it. Now that's value. Yeah, next we go to Genoa, place down the bats. Soil. Alright, I think we'll have that be our next encounter. Not that I'm anticipating all that much damage, but it's nice in the early game for card draw. And I may end up placing the second bats first. It'll depend. I don't intend on playing the new vampire until I have just more stuff. Local rumors? And he's already drawn an evil presence. Do I risk going to Munich? Do I risk trying to slip past them? Because if he has an early newspaper to reveal it at dawn, then he'll be heading down that way, down the rail. At least one of them will. So, there I could try to slip into the east. So, one thing's obvious. I'm going to Milan next. Okay, there's the other local rumors. Now, if Van Helsing draws if Van Helsing or Mina draws the second evil presence, then that will be all the proxy events. So therefore, I might be just clear to try to slip into the east. what do I do in the event that this doesn't get searched? Do I lair it? Like, or if they don't reveal it. If they reveal it, I definitely will. I shall definitely mature it. But do I lair it and then try to set up a chain of layers? Perhaps? It's a thought. Okay, well he's not getting a newspaper. He's not getting the immediate newspaper function. Does he have one already? We'll find that out tomorrow. This guy seems to be playing awful slow. I suppose he does sometimes play on a phone, and therefore it's just slower. A little, especially when playing hunters, the phone has quite a bit to digest that for its data. The fact that he's passing at night seems to say that he's already at least found all the white ones. And now any ticking that he does will be trying to improve the horse economy. So therefore it'll likely be Venice that hits them. And the thing is, in the event he doesn't discover that, if he just by chance like gets the hired scouts and searches Genoa, or draws newspaper tomorrow, Genoa I could have wolf formed in from various different directions, so that won't narrow things down much for him. But I mean, all that goes kind of out the window if he has one already. So, do I place down one more bats first? I think we'll start with the soil. Bats is an excellent layer card, so and soil is very good for filtering my cards, so I can get rid of some of this garbage. Because mobs aren't exactly all that great. So he did not have a newspaper. That's definitely... So now the question is, if he does not, find it, or just doesn't find the trail, okay, slow roll. That seems to indicate that he is about to go across to Seward, which means that he'll likely stumble upon it by accident. Quite possibly for a horse trade. That Seward may well just rail now. How many dogs are gone? 3? Okay. There's still 1. Discarding an excellent weather. Whoa. Stewart is definitely extremely scary if he's discarding that. Just imagine what those are. Probably at least one RV, possibly a CG. Goodness. That is scary. Probably just blowing into the mic like that. Okay, gonna scan Germany. So, in that case, I think I go to Marseille to try to evade the psychic bond. But then again, do I really gain much from that? Oh, there it is. Wax cylinders. That tells him what he needs to know. That indeed tells him what he wants to know. He may end up using a renewed vigor to try to get to it. Wax cylinders. So it's good to know about that. I'm guessing that he only just drew that, and that's what he drew today. Otherwise, he probably would have done that. I mean, Seward has passed by night more than once, so therefore he only just found those. I think I can say that with confidence. Let's see. Yeah, I am somewhat... my mood is somewhat confined. But he doesn't know that for sure yet. How much will he pay attention to Rome? Will he try to just sack it off and go after me? Possibly. And now, I mean, she knows that I'm not going to be in Germany. Yeah, it's... Even I would have had to been through Munich to have been there already. Well... So, yeah, this is actually now a bit difficult. I could do a feed. Or I could misdirect to Venice. I could misdirect back to Venice and lay down the fog as some protection. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Wait, no, Venice is wolf form, so I can't. That's... If he does go into Italy, chances are it will be to Milan. But nonetheless, let's lay this down as a just in case. Don't want to take too many chances here. Especially since he may well be doing a renewed vigor here. No? Okay. Yeah. Now that he knows my general vicinity. Alright, good. That means that he'll likely horse over me, possibly going to Genoa. Or Florence. Well, why would he go to Florence? Because I wolf formed after Rome. Eh, considering that this is about to get wiped, more likely than not, I mean, it'll take, specifically at this point, a sense of emergency plus a forewarned on Mina, which she doesn't have. So therefore I can safely say that the vampire is going to mature. So basically what I'm doing is making sure that my other cards get some value as well. I mean, he knows where the wolf form was too at this point, so he may end up checking Toulouse with Seward if he thinks Seward's strong enough, or at least like has something like an escape route or a heroic leap. That could be. I could definitely see him doing that. Alternatively, he could just move to Marseille, check whether I've been there. Cause come on, surely is the fact that he's hesitating at all on what to do makes me think that Seward doesn't have a horse yet. Yeah, since he was resorting to rail movement. Okay. Now where does Mina go? Okay, so there is another excellent weather, but that's now excellent weather off the table of things I need to worry about ever again. Should I make a break for the North Coast? Just go Nuremberg, Leipzig, Hamburg? Because he does still have some trail clearing to do. I could also go Strasbourg. Yeah, I think I'll try to slip in like behind Van Helsing. Then go Oda Britannica, possibly. Maybe. We'll see what Mia does. I think we won't ambush. A one-on-one versus Mina, I am not, and she has with her having no combat events, I'm not worried. I should be able to handle this well enough. I may take some damage, like if she dumps a Heavenly Host turn 1 and I don't have a Fang. Yeah. I mean, she'll be looking to escape, more likely than not. So, she may still dump the Heavenly Host, for an in case I mesmerize first, because but, yeah, we'll just go for dealing as much damage as I can. And I know nothing about what she has apart from the fact that she has a stake. The other two things are a complete mystery to me, but presumably one of them is a knife. As for the other, I don't know. Starting with punch. Nice. The fact that I did punch and not Heavenly Host seems to say that she does not have one. Unless he was playing around Heavenly Host and going Fang. Which I may well have if I had had the option to. Do I claw again? Or do I do a strength? I think I claw. Plotting was also worth consideration, but I think it's... worst case scenario, she has... worst case scenario, her two hidden items are a gun and holy bullets. Okay, so now I've, temporarily crippled Mina. without using the fog, so someone else will still get delayed by it. So either she, and she may well be too scared to search it. Since I know about great strength, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try and feed to try and finish her off. but I've seen but I've seen to it that Goldaming's delayed tomorrow, so he can't do anything to help right away, and I'll weaken him by spying on him. Presumably he'll have at least one white one. Discarding a rifle. Alright. Presumably his third item is a knife. Or... Yeah, Mina's not going to be jumping on me anytime soon. In fact... Well, if I lair this, there's nothing left on the trail anyway. I've seen to that. I mean, that isn't a hide card. So, therefore I get hide back, I get wolf form back, and wolf form from Zurich leaves him with a lot of different options. I think I'll wolf form into the east. Yeah, 2 power cards back. Got full value out of the 2 spots that weren't hide. And I don't mind wiping the Saboteur. The fact that it didn't have to be used is quite I don't mind. That was there as a just in case. So, yeah, this has been a very satisfactory first week for me. She's gonna rest, doubtless. What am I doing? I always layer stuff early. Always muscle memory clicked it. So now we'll form as Zurich. With connections to Munich, Strasbourg, and Marseille, there are all sorts of different locations I could go to. Zurich is, in my opinion, one of the... short of Munich... Zurich is, in my opinion, one of the best wolf form locations in the game. Yeah, Mina's 2 health. She won't be chasing after me immediately, so... we will... go to Zagreb. Just go east, away from the others. Play it safe. We'll go ahead and toss down Aristocratic. I won't rumor that one. That one is one I will not rumor. So... I wouldn't do a Renewed Vigor right now if I were you. Mina's very low health. Seward is the only one who's all that close, and it has good enough that isn't delayed, of course. And also has sufficient HP to be willing to challenge me. So, yeah, this is a good start to the game. Yeah, so I definitely won't be mature. I mean, Zagreb is the very obvious move. If I had chosen to go with somewhere like Cologne, well, a few psychic scans in me, and they would have figured it out, so... Yeah, this one is almost never maturing, since it's aristocratic. The other ones, but it may be time to start laying down Reckless and new vampires again. I have 2, and if I put those after the aristocratic, Uh, well, we'll see. Yeah, he's definitely thinking long and hard what to do do with Seward. I mean, one would think that uh, one would think that uh, he would just move to Milan to since he knows that that's the next base on the trail. Hmm. I think he's digging for a buried horse in the item pile, is what's going on there. Yeah. And now perhaps Harker. Aina, you might as well. I know where I am. I mean, I suppose you don't know, but checking Vienna. Okay. So Godalming does have a horse, but I took away his rifle, so he is less heavily armed. And since I'm going into the east, where supplying can be difficult, resupplying items can be difficult. This will definitely be nice. We still don't have any stakes in the discard, which is definitely troubling. I imagine that, in truth, I figure that Godalming's last item, in addition to the horses, it is a stake, and that Mia's got one. Will she just move to Seward to make the healing process faster? Perhaps, and not bother searching this. I mean, if it's a mob, she'll have to discard items to stay alive. Yeah, she's gonna rest a bit longer before daring to search it. If she has a conventional weapon, like if she has a knife, then she might be able to. She might have enough health to risk doing it now. Hmm. What will she do? Yeah, I would have had Seward move to Milan. And I suppose if you're trying to dig for a horse, it may well be worth it. Because in the end, there will be someone getting a horse. Someone will find it eventually. Especially since Godalming will likely. I think Godalming will likely horse to Vienna and then stay there one turn to supply to recover from losing that rifle. But I would at least start moving. And also, it would have been. I actually would have. What I would have done is I would have moved Mia down to Seward, so that you could scan France if you are going to have Seward stay. Have him dig for the horse while she scans France to make sure I didn't wolf horn to Toulouse, and now I'm about to go into Spain. That might be a reasonable thing to do. Honestly, I don't know. Hmm. Is he just freeing up hand space for Seward so that he can keep supplying? Hmm. Yeah. Seems like it. I should. So she gets stuck there for. I mean, he won't especially mind with her being so beaten up. Uh. Let's take advantage of the fact that they're hanging back and take the time to go to Sajed. We'll place down a Reckless next, I think. Or, no, we'll go with New in case in the event the Aristocratic matures, I don't want to wipe a new vampire. I know Reckless, so we'll go Aristocratic, New, and now that I have another Aristocratic after that, and then maybe then I play the rifle. I mean the Reckless. Yeah, Lemon's got a horse, for sure. So Zagreb, he can check Zagreb, reach the Aristocratic, and he can check Vienna. Or I think that he'll likely just go to Vienna and it's possible that he might go to Seward to trade him his horse, so that Gul'damin can be the one hanging back supplying for a horse, since he supplies twice as fast. Yeah, Zagreb was obvious. I was fully aware of it, but they were all to the west, and those that were nearby were either delayed or badly injured. Yeah, if she does not have a conventional weapon... Oh, sense of emergency. Okay. Well, good that that happened without a renewed vigor, and not with it. I'm a bit surprised that we haven't seen a renewed vigor yet. What if I try to loop back? Well, then Mia comes out of the fog. She'll be relatively well healed. She'll be at like 5 HP. And there's still great strength about, so... really don't want to... What I might be able to do... I might be able to evade them by going Belgrade, Sarajevo, Valona. Doing it like that. Because they'll likely check Sarajevo first. Then when I'm not there, they'll just move on. Yeah, I will say that the fact that they have, at least temporarily, left the soil alone is nice. But at the same time, it's not so nice because I definitely could use the card cycling. Yeah, with that move, I definitely do not try to slip back. And I have a new vampire on me already. Do I hide and play the Reckless? Prepare for them to jump on me? Try to wean them down? And if there wasn't great strength about, I likely would do that. But I know that it's there. But then again, Gul'damin is down an item, so how bad could that be? I mean, while they're trading, so now, while Seward will likely be down one item, it does mean that he will be, they'll be equally threatening, you might say. Now Seward can heal if he wants to. Stake, okay. Well, he's using it on Aristocratic. Fine by me. So that means that Seward is now the one who's undersupplied. And the thing is, Gul'damin likely has one of those too. Alongside his horse. She'll rest, obviously. I think the way to go about this is Belgrade, Sarajevo, then Valona. Mina is not yet uh, it's strong enough to the point where she can just rush into a fight. I would have played the aristocratic, but since they've come quicker than slightly quicker than I expected, uh, it will it is worthy of concern. Do I go? So next I go either Bucharest, Sarajevo, Sofia. I mean, I could. If I go to no, if I head north to the castle, I'll simply get surrounded. So Mina will likely go and check out it, and we haven't had seen any heavenly host discarded yet. So the chances of Mina having one, it are actually not are actually not exactly slim. I would I'm expecting one personally. But at the very least, that will give me my card draw, or give me some healing. Just how ready is he to jump into combat? Okay, moving to, I imagine he'll check Sofia first. Oh, going to the Lona. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Do I start backtracking now? And now, if Sword goes to Sophia, he's going to resupply. Okay, good. That gives me a little bit of breathing room. So with that, that means unless Sword has a charred carriage, going to Sophia will be safe enough. So I'll go there next, and then I have both Black Sea and Salonika for Ionian Sea open. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to sea soon. That's for sure. Yeah, he's beginning to get to the point where I might think he's overcommitting. Huh. But then again, the way he discarded an excellent weather early makes me think that he does have makes me think that he has an RV. I don't have the second fog, but then again, he isn't to know that, so he'll have to be careful on how he approaches me. Plus, since he didn't check either Sarajevo or Sofia, chances are he still thinks I went that way. So therefore, he'll expect me to be already on the coast. Wax cylinders? Is that just for checking if I hid? Yeah. Alright. Alright. I can play down a mob. That's a reasonable pre-combat encounter. But that's really the best I can do. So let's see. Does he have a heavenly host? If nothing else, I may get my second fog from this. No, but I got some better stuff. Let's toss away these aristocratics and the rats. Does she have one? No. So that will give me healing. Excellent. So long as I can survive one more day. So where do I move? Yeah, so he hasn't checked Sarajevo, but the problem is that his path to Sarajevo, to Sofia, is through Sarajevo. So therefore, it would be a mistake to go there. This is Klausenberg. I'm at least off the rail line, so Van Helsing is less likely to be able to get to me. Seward, so far as I has still not shown a horse. He hasn't resupplied yet. So will he really charge Seward? No, Seward will be supplying with one of his actions. So therefore, what do I go with? I'll place down Wolves to be the guardian, regardless where I go. I think we go Sarajevo. Risk it and once Glowing has shifted off. Since I have that soil maturing for a feed basically anyway. Let's go with wolves over the mob. And let's do that to keep him a little bit more focused on here and now. Yeah, this is a sticky situation. So Goldalming, will he even move? Or will he want to continue blocking the port? So, okay. With that, it's clear that he does not have renewed vigor. Because he would renewed vigor now to presumably stop me from reaching the ports. Or stop me from leaving me to get to me before I leave port. Okay, so that fear was apparently not correct, but Seward going horses. So now, will he even check Sarajevo now that he'll expect me to be further down? But I think that he's more looking for my trail than me with Seward. At least that's what I would think. Yep, not there either, Skybreaker. I think that since wolf form will soon be coming off, I think I start. Yeah, I can't go back to Zagreb. He'll likely try to find a heavenly host. Something like that. So that he can stop me from healing. As things are kind of bad enough for him with me at 12. But they will be even worse if he lets me heal. Especially after giving me that card draw. Pistol. Discard a pistol. So one stake's on Mina, one stake... he has to address the rumor token. Unless he simply catches me, then he has to address the rumor token. He cannot let that go. I've already gotten one rumor token through. So... if I think that despite the wax cylinders, I hide this turn, and then because he'll be going back down to Valona, presumably. Did she find a heavenly host with her top deck? No. So the healing is secured. Good. Sure. Covering more health. I could misdirect Belgrade and go back there. Misdirecting a Reckless? Well, at present, my concern is simply survival. And evading them. So what do? I think at this point he'll expect me to be up at the castle. Up in the castle region. He'll expect me to be, like, hiding at Galatz, waiting for Wolfform to come off, perhaps. It's risky, but I'm at full health, and unless he has Renewed Vigor, there's zero... well, not zero, but he's already played one Sense of Emergency, so it's very unlikely that he has the other one. Okay, we put down Mob now. And Seward still has the problem that he's at only 2 item cards, so... one of which I know is a horse, so he is really not threatening. At this point, he may well just need to consent that I've given him the slip. And, for now, and... because the thing is, it's still quite a while before I get Fury of Dracula points. So... yeah, this will be a perfect timing for going to Adriatic, then wolfing to, like, Genoa. Probably. Even though that's right next to Mina. Alright, you found that. Let's try and snare a couple points. So now doing what I have just done was definitely a very dangerous game. If there had been a Renewed Vigor at any time, things could have gone very poorly. Since I have only one Fang, I'll wait to try it. But then again, I don't have any ways to stop him from escaping. We'll start with plotting, in case he tries to dodge the initial Fang, or if he knives. Oh, okay. That means so it was a heavenly host that he's been. So I kind of. Okay, it doesn't matter what I take. Man, shame. I could have gotten him bitten, plus getting a point. Bold move. That was daring. Bold move, man. Bold move, man. Yeah. But that only intensifies the problem of the fact that he's so close to me and yet so far, because while he can just semi ignore while he can get onto me, he just has he has barely any items. That's the problem for him. How many Draculans are there? 9? Okay. And I still haven't drawn either hoax, nor... So... I wonder if Mina will be moved from Milan anytime soon. I mean, she might be today, but if she does, that will give me a place that's not directly, like, two rail spaces away from Van Helsing, and not right next to them by road. Usually somewhere that's adequately far away. I mean, whether she moves or not, I am gonna go to sea. Or, Gladwing's down item. They have a rumor token to worry about that's about to slide onto slot number 5. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go to sea now. Cut my losses, so to speak. Let's... I mean, still... The new vampire I heard that's rumored, and that will win us the game if he doesn't... I mean, surely he has a stake over there. There's one in the discard, Mina has one. What happened to the other 2? Are they on the bottom of the deck or something? Technically, he doesn't know that it's at Sajed. It could technically be at Sarajevo, since I went in a big circle. Yeah, when it's in the east, when you're in the east, it's much easier to predict what your opponent is going to do with the different hunters. So it's easier to evade them by simply going loop-de-loop than it would be in other places. Yeah, Mia is starting to get close. Is definitely, so definitely layer that. Place down, place down the bats. At this stage of the game, I'm not going to be playing down bats. Okay, time to go. And here's the fun thing. I could wolf form back into the east. Like, if they start charging out of the east immediately, I might take advantage of that, because I didn't go Ionian, I went Adriatic. So he knows that he has to, at least, he needs to, at the very least, use the wax cylinders to determine whether that really is a vamp. And then once he knows that it is a vamp, he go there with a stake, because, I mean, where are the stakes? I will just not believe it if Mina has just drawn all the stakes and all the remaining stakes and hasn't discarded any of them. I will just be unable to believe that. And besides, Mia has a horse, so that's just impossible. Okay. Slow horse, but well, one way or another, he'll either find the vampire or oh, okay. I was not expecting that. Keep in mind that you're counting on you. Well, I suppose he knows. He knows which one it is. He knows that it's Sajed and not Sarajevo. Otherwise, I couldn't have gone to see. I mean, 2 moves from Belgrade, uh, without it being Sofia earlier. Since when he went to Belgrade, he came from Sofia. Uh, he he knows that I went Sajed first, therefore no, or at least should know. Okay. The question is, will he even dare to check it? Because if he, uh, because if he doesn't have it, okay, Van Helsing's got it covered. So in that case, we ambush. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see an escape route. Or planned ambush, something like that. We haven't seen any combat events yet, so... we'll lead off with a Fang in case he's trying to kill it with items. Okay. Well, a hit is a hit. Since it's a new vampire, Seward, they can, if necessary, 3v1 it next turn. If they think it necessary. Which they might. Because, after all, if this thing matures, they lose. So they'll probably just take no chances whatsoever. Especially now that Van Helsing is weakened. Well, not weakened, but he's damaged somewhat. Yeah. Van Helsing, more likely than not, does have a stake. There's only one in the discard. Mina has one. There's still 2 unaccounted for. Van Helsing has been doing a lot of different supplies. Okay. But then again, now that he moved deeper into there, it'll take him using a charred carriage to get here. So therefore, I will now just go straight to Genoa, especially since Mia didn't move. So, yeah. And 1, 2. That's out of sense of emergency range for him. Charred carriage, and it's out of charred carriage range for him. So, even though he could get close. What was that? Discarding Vampire Lair? Whoa. Discarding Vampire Lair? Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Discarding Vampire Lair? What? What? She must have some extremely good stuff if she's discarding that. One of them is great strength, I know that, and yeah, it would buy you 1 day, one day. It would buy you one day. So, yeah, possibly some misjudgment there. Yeah. Because with Vampire Lair, that would take me one more day to win. Yeah, that's searching. What has Seward got? Whoa! Okay. Is he Horse Stake Heavenly Host, perhaps? And we don't have any knives in the discard. Okay. So he's dealt with the rumor token. That's like potential crisis scenario is averted. Yeah. So there's still 2 fire vamps in there. One of each type of fire vamp. Is that he has is that Mia's carrying CG and now he can Goldaming spent a Heavenly Host, but he would still be able to blockade all the ports and force me to go on a longer sea trip. Fortunately, that's not the case. Lair, toss down, I don't know, toss down Saboteur. Wolf form back here. We'll go with Spy, as that's a reasonable Guardian card. Yeah, without Renewed Vigor, only Van Helsing and Mina can reach me. And Van Helsing just spent a stake, so he's weaker. And Mina's still... and Mina discarded her stake, which means that she's a little bit stronger now. How come he's not showing her horse? I thought Mina had a horse. Or is there a horse buried in the bottom 4? Goodness. If that is the case, he has been seriously unlucky. 2 of them in the bottom 10 cards, seemingly. Next we go to Marseille. Sure, it's obvious, but at this point, it's just... But at this point, since we're about to enter week 3, it's just about evading them for one more week. And then just getting fewer Dracula points. But... I'm still not out of the woods yet. I'm sitting relatively pretty with 12 health, sure. But okay. So Willie sends Seward down to Valona. Okay, he's real quick checking Munich. That may mean that Van Helsing has sense of emergency, but no, he wouldn't send Van Helsing there, or with as a result, sense of emergency only 2 health. Even with great strength about, that's just ridiculous. It's possible that Seward has 2 horses, and is now going to Mia to give one to her. I mean, he's also just following me. Okay. Was that with the rail tickets? Yeah. So, he won't. He probably won't be able to let himself let. He won't be able to just let that go. More, he'll likely send Van Helsing down. Okay, sure, you found me. Whatever. Was I likely to do anything else? Discarding a knife when she could discard a rifle? Huh? Okay, I see. What she's wanting is an anti-claw thing, so I can't just claw her to death. So she has a rifle and one other thing. Let's see just how much I can narrow this down. I mean, it's possible that she had double knife, which is why she discarded knife. And considering that there are no knives in discard, and they haven't been showing up over there, over in the east, means that I think that actually very likely. All the pistols are gone. Let's see. I think it's a double knife situation. That's why she discarded the knife instead of the rifle. You picked this fight. You knew it would be one-on-one. So I'll play defense. I suspect that he'll lead with the knife. Oh, okay. Fine. Escape if you like. I suppose just making it so I can't hide. I mean, that's one possible reason. Do I go to Milan? And I have the second fog, but Seward has a lot of events. So, let's see what else I draw. Let's see what other option I draw from the hoax. I mean, from making a layer. And then, I suppose Mob is actually slightly better than when I think of it. Train with Van Helsing. And I can go to see if I want. I can go to see if I need to. I definitely don't want to, but and those two are still relatively far away. I think I'll go to Milan and quite likely place down the fog for in case he rolls slow with Seward or calls my bluff. Scouts? Okay, so you get to flip over Valuna. Sure. And he's night supplying. Huh. There. Just throw in the hoax. Where's my other soil? Come on. Yeah, I think I will go to Milan. And place down the fog as in case they call in case of two things. One, Seward rolls slow, or 2, he calls my bluff. I mean, there is also the possibility of Florence, which you may check, seeing as that would be which perhaps I should have gone Florence, since it's not going to be a CG nuke. Since he's missing one. Well, actually it would. Well, not a nuke, but it would be an error, because at Genoa, one of the spots, he could just leave the only open spot being a spot I can't misdirect. So, therefore, I can't risk that. How many Drac events? 1, 5, 6, 9. So I'm not sure why I Night Spied with Nina. I would have rested. Okay, he slow rolls. I imagine he'll be going down to Valona. Or either that, or I think Van Helsing will likely go down to Valona. Because he will not want a hoax maturing. So you'll... Huh. Okay, yeah. By the looks of things, he's sending Van Helsing down to Valona. Unless he's just letting that go, which would be just fine for him. Because the model I placed there at the time, since it was kind of the only thing I had, the best thing I had. Okay, good. He rolled fast. Good. Now he'll have it narrowed down to Milan and Florence. And I'm not sure he'll want to risk jumping on top of me again. He did Night Supply, so now Mia has another thing in addition to she made up for the lost knife. There is still one stake somewhere. Oh, Van Helsing has a horse? Okay, so they finally found the last horse. It was buried deep in the deck. And he rolls slow so he can't reach Valona right now. So Mia is without horse. I think now is when I hide. He hasn't played Wax Cylinders in a long time. By night. Mostly because he's been healing and or just it's not been possible. Okay. You want to fight? Okay. Relic Wreath. Okay. So now he has what I assume is a knife and a rifle with this to add to it. We'll lead with a Mesmerize. If I'm right about what she has, worst case scenario, I take a punch. Best case scenario, this could lead up to me biting her. Okay, she went with rifle. So that means I go claw next. Unless... Oh, well, I don't have any Fang. I'm just gonna move off her anyway, so let's... Unless I manage to force the great strength out of her. And then I can feed and battle her 1v1. And still have the fog there. Since I didn't ambush with it. I'm guessing he'll be expecting the... Yep. He was expecting me to claw. So, so now I get to fetch a Fang, since I'm well supplied with other stuff. And then and since she's already mesmerized, next I try to, I think I try to claw. Well, I think I just use strength. I wish I were able to take advantage of it, but the thing is, I suspect she does have a knife, so... Yep, and now it's busted. It... I'm a bit hesitant to take the 4 from the garlic wreath, but... And I still have my plotting up. Playing knife there was a bad mistake. So next we mesmerize. If she manages to call it and punches, then that's just a well for me. Yeah, so now I claw to get rid of the garlic wreath. And this time he has nothing but basics, so... Yeah, but now he dodges, so I didn't manage to force great strength out of him, but at the very least oh, but what I can do is this. Brilliant. He is... Unless he plays... I can at least attempt it. He'll likely dodge to prevent me biting her and forcing the great strength. So therefore, let's get some distance. It's a shame that the fog is now completely wasted, but... We'll simply go to northern Germany. Yeah, this is really good. With this plus an extra move, for all he knows, I could be going down to Spain. He'll probably guess that I'm going to Germany, since it's just the safest place to go. Yeah, it's possible I could now. If he leaves the opening, I could go down through Munich to Venice and go back once the sea falls off. But that'd be kind of silly. That'd be overly daring. One does have to draw the line eventually. The problem is they still have a week. The fact that fact is, they have movement. They have a good number of events. And I'm doing well. I'm still at 12 health, and we're beginning the 3rd week. Hmm. This is... Yeah, this could very easily... This will come down to the wire. More likely than not. I am extremely surprised that we haven't seen a renewed vigor by now. I think it's possible I should have gone Strasbourg so as I can just make a semi-beeline for it towards Britannica, because since they don't have any excellent, since there are no excellent weathers left, that will be a very strong position. Slide, lair, toss down rats. Wait, can't misdirect yet. We'll go to Leipzig. I don't think that there is very little threat from... I mean, Seward, strictly speaking, could since emergency onto me, but once again, that'd be a 1v1. I'm not afraid of that. So let's just insert a hoax here, in case it... I mean, because, especially once I've misdirected this escapist bat location, I mean, on this... I mean, Seward may well just guess at it, but chances are what he'll check is Toulouse. Because he'll want to see... Because if I'm going into Spain, he'll want to know now. Yeah. And that's where I would have batted to, in that particular... for those particular circumstances. Now my lairs can do... Well, no, they won't do any work because I removed that one as to make it a possible bat location. And yet that's on their way out anyway. Yeah, this is... It's still not over, by any means. They have a full week's worth of time. There's very little trail. I mean, there's still this that'll distract Van Helsing for a little bit longer, but... Seward gives a 1. Okay, so he's not... So in that case, I think he will check Toulouse. The thing is, another thing is I could have batted to Florence, and now I'm in Rome, just ready to go to sea again. I could have done that. I think... Okay, Mia lost almost all her items in that fight. Well, we're not gonna ambush. Speed telegraph discarded. Yeah, I can't believe he discarded that vampire lair, because that vampire lair would buy him 1 day. So apparently, the desecrated soil that I want, which is what I'm going to place next, and the new vampire, the bottom 2 cards. Well, so I'm either... What am I going to place next? Either a bodyguards, or... either a bodyguards or the desecrated soil if I draw that. You think I would hide on my bat location? No. I mean, that's a fancy way of passing, I suppose. Yeah, his horse economy is still far from perfect. I'll make sure to put I'll actually put the other bodyguards here in Sarajevo, because if Van Helsing rolls slow on his horse roll, and I get to and he moves on there, I can just straight out kill him. And that would save me some time. There. Clear the one in. I don't know, Siged. Wait, one moment. Let's misdirect my bat location. Now he won't know for sure until he picks up the rest of my trail. So, almost all the stakes are gone. We'll go with placing down the new vampire next. Or, no. We'll stick with what I had planned. I probably should have gone Cologne. I don't know. I think I likely hide this turn. We get bodyguards and wolves or mob. I mean, Mina's not going to be getting near me in a hurry. Is a hide too risky? I mean, let's see what Seward rolls. I mean, he's still on only two. He still is down an item. It's possible they might go off in a different direction. Because he is assuming that I went that way. He doesn't know for sure. I mean, it's the logical thing for me to do, yes, but I have been making very weird moves all game, haven't I? Dodging and weaving among the cities of the east. Great. Thing is, the furthest he can get is to my misdirected bat location. If he does come this way. Okay. Yeah. If I were Van Helsing, yeah, just supply, try to find it. Likewise with Mina, refresh your item slots, try to find it. Are there any scouts left? I know there's been at least 3. Or no, only 2? Huh. I suppose there was Jonathan. So that's why I'm getting a little bit confused. A newspaper. Yeah. Yeah, he ain't keeping that around. Although if he were to draw that tomorrow, that actually would have been helpful for him. So I either hide or the timing is actually very nice. If I go to see now, 1, 2, these two will have slid off. These two slide off in it with me making those two moves, and then I can wolf form into Britannica. And well, he spent both. He discarded an excellent weather early, and he spent an excellent weather early, so he won't be able to follow me in a hurry. Just need to buy more time. Lair, ein lair. Toss the Belgrade one. Toss a mob there. Just... Huh. Seward may end up landing at the same time as me if I go right now. If I hide, he'll be expecting a fog. He doesn't know it, but I already used it. I could feed. I could hide. Feeding gives more of an impression that I'm in the south. But I think with a high, Seward is down an item, Goldaming is down an item, so I think I should be safe enough. Hide, place down the wolves. Let's keep him focused on the here and now. I know that's not a vampire, but that'll make him less likely to check Hamburg, as that's check Hamburg immediately. Because if that's down in Spain instead, and he's been up, and he's been on a wild goose chase, he'll want to know that he'll want to start moving Seward back sooner rather than later, in order to be able to even reach the place in time. Up, slow horse, excellent. So my choice is already paying off somewhat. That was the bat location, dude. And chances are he knows that would have been it. But if I hit him with a bodyguards and a wolves, I... Plan to ambush. Okay, nice. Take out a combat event. Evil presence. Okay, now he knows. Now he knows. He recently reshuffled the item pile. So that Heavenly Host is not back yet. Unless he just drew it off the top. And in which case, chances are he didn't show anything for wolves earlier. So I'm tempted to just feed. Well, chances are he will have picked up a conventional weapon, because there were lots of pistols, rifles, and even a knife in there. Do I take such a chance? If I do, I could then wolf form out of Hamburg. But no. I'm gonna be putting to sea. The question is how soon. And I suppose it would be nice to feed, admittedly, while it's still week 3. Rather than week 4. Yeah, we'll ambush with the bodyguards first. If Gul'daming makes it onto me too, I'll ambush Seward first with bodyguards. So that if he does have a conventional weapon, he has at most one conventional weapon. Unless he bluffed that the wolves and eunuchs. Although I don't think that's the kind of thing you bluff. Okay, a garlic, and that was off the top. So that means he hasn't. That means that Mia didn't find it. Yeah, I think I'll feed. I should be safe enough. I should be at least secure enough. And if, in the event I end up killing Seward, despite the great strength, or at least doing sufficient damage to him to put him out of commission for a while, I might choose the wolf form. Yeah, feed will also help, semi-help convince him that I'm. Well, he knows. He just got evil presence. He knows, I think, precisely where I am. Well, not necessarily. He did not check Strasbourg. He ended up going over that, so it could be Strasbourg into Brussels. So Strasbourg into Brussels into Amsterdam. So I could be at either of the ports, or hiding at Brussels. Well, no, because he drew it while it is still here. Okay, wax cylinders. Yeah, fine move. Oh, using it in deduction. Well, now you know that you'd probably do want to address that. You probably do want to address that, but then again, will it be that by the time it matures, you'll just be out of time? That's a good question. Well, unless I am going to feed. Slide and feed. I just hope that this doesn't end up being too greedy. So there are two. It is true that there are 2 locations where I could be. Hamburg and Brussels. Those are the places that I could have gotten to by here. By this card that were not next to the sewer, but not next to the Gul'daming. At least that they hadn't already yet been to, since they did check Berlin. Slow horse. I suppose he'll send him to deal with the hoax then. That also gets him to a big city. Before too long, he may well have to start resorting to night supplying, because he is just running out of time. He's been having Mina step on me at 1v1. Will he do the same with Seward? I mean, presumably, yeah, because presumably what he has is horse, steak, heavenly host, plus one other thing unaccounted for. So we ambush with this one. Or, actually, since it's only him, I I would rather have the wolves get countered than the bodyguards, since the bodyguards are he very likely, it's not all that unlikely that he has a forewarned. What? Okay, in that case, okay. He was worried that it was going to be a fog, so he tanked the wolves. But he does. But note to self, he did not. Yeah, he could not afford to take another 4 damage after that. Rufus. Oh, well, that's convenient for him. Definitely convenient timing. I could now wolf form away after this fight. And who knows? He doesn't have any weapons. He would have shown one if he had one. Surely. So therefore, he doesn't have any anti-escapist bat stuff. Unless he drew a holy circle. If he has a holy circle, he will almost certainly use it right away. Lucky find. Okay, well that changes things. I was thinking that would be an easy bat away, but not so. Planned ambush. Okay. So he really intends on driving this home. Discarding his horse. Okay, so now he has. Well, I think at this point I think I'm actually assuming that's double Heavenly Host. So therefore, we need to. Let's make it so that it may seem like a too steep a price to pay, even with great strength. I'm fine with taking 4 damage. Did he find an anti-claw weapon? Even if he did, he will certainly use it. Yeah, it's definitely a tough choice. Do you do the Heavenly Host and just tank it? No. With me being at 15, it's not worth it. So next we do a Fang. As I suspect he'll play a Heavenly Host next. Yep. Too obvious, man. Too obvious, man. Choosing to use the Great Strength to prevent the bite. Okay. Well, now I can try to set up a lethal ambush and actually try to finish it. But I can't do that now. With Gul'daming with a fresh Gul'daming about to come in, with a fresh Lord Gul'daming going to be ready to come in next turn. Admittedly, one I am down, so 1 weapon, but yeah, he's okay. But now he's delayed. Now that Gul'daming is delayed, I think I will wolf form away instead of going to sea, especially with that Rufus. We'll just continue buying time. Yeah, and he can. And now that he's used the Great Strength, he can't just go jumping onto me like willy-nilly. He needs to have a coordinated strike for it to. Oh, Mina has a 4. Mina has a 4. The other forewarned. Very nice to know. Thank you for that, Sky. Even if that's a CG, I think I would have owned that before forewarned. But now, CG is once again weakened. If it's there, take off, I don't know, Zurich. Wolf form to Brussels. Yeah. I don't really need desecrated soil, do I? I'm at full health. Let's place down Reckless. It's time to start laying vampires again. Not that it'll matter. In fact, what I from now on, I place nothing but solid guardian cards, because at this point, there's only a couple days left until I start scoring fury, so therefore, it's not none of these really matter so far as that goes. I suppose Van Helsing goes via Adriatic Sea, because he is holding a horse that he could give over to Mina. And Seward discarded his horse. Yeah, I think discarding the horse there was a mistake, because that was almost never going to be the end of the game. Okay. He'll likely check Brussels and Frankfurt. So I'm likely gonna get flipped over. Yeah. Okay. Checked Amsterdam in case I went to there. I don't know what it is with Skybreak. I don't know what it is with Sky doing all these 1v1s, but it's really that's allowing me to just not go to make me not have to go to sea. I've just delayed him too much by having hunters badly mauled by our 1v1s. This might be a time for him to use CG if he has it. Slim though it is. Weakened though it is. Okay, recent. Because frankly, I can't think of anything else he would want to hide more than a forewarned. Even in RV, you don't especially mind if you don't mind too much. Now we'll just go along the coastline. Place more stuff. He was very aggressive with his underplay. Or rather has been. It's... Yeah, and it's proven to be that he was too aggressive. Sense of emergency. Okay. So that's the second sense of emergency. How many truck carriages have happened? 0. So that's still something I will have to watch out for. Okay, so Goldaming having a crack at me. And I know that one of his things is a horse. So he has only one combat item, if anything. Okay, nice. Possibly Goldaming has Heroic Leap and wants to, like, at least, like, try to lessen my IDS in the end. Alright, this has been a long game. Yeah, this game has taken over 2 hours. Okay. No 2 yellow. Yeah, I may yet have to go to C. And yet, so close to... So, what do what do I do here? We'll go with strength. Double Fang does tempt me to do Mesmerize, but... Double Fang does tempt me to play around Heavenly Host, but... Okay. Oh well, I could have healed one, but... So he's just making... And the high card's already on the board. Since none of these two have horses, I'll define Moon to not. Even with the RV, with all the sense of emergencies gone, and try carriage counting as a move thing, not special. He can. There. Discard the Genoa layer. Okay. Then, Nant. And lay down a vampire. So I only need to stay alive 2 more turns. If it's turns on land. So I can move 1 space and then I can slide the hide card off. Got another escape route? Nope. This time, so you are going to take some damage before you slip away. Yep. Typical vampire ambush. Even though he's damaged a bit, this is bombing, and now he has about as much health as your typical hunter would. So there's both fogs in there. There's a 1 in 6 chance that I could draw a fog for the last combat, and I know where the last forewarned is. Or rather, I know that's... Or, I suppose I haven't been keeping quite adequate track of things. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll misdirect Le Havre, so I can go there. Or rather, misdirect it and then go to Clermont-Ferrand. Or misdirect and then go to Paris, perhaps? Because let's remember that this is going to be the last day. You're too far away to do anything in time. I would have just tried to find something like a heroic leap. Okay, not sure who that is. Possibly some random person who bought the game. Yeah, I'm going to block Paris, making it so there will only be 2 options. So if I stay on land, I'll have at least 2 of them on me. So he does have Heroic Leap. Well, that means that Goldaming won't exactly be fit to go charging in. So far, at present, Van Helsing is the only one with... If I find a fog, then I'm at practically guaranteed victory, as Van Helsing can only give that forewarn to one person, and I simply ambush the other. So yeah, we'll misdirect, make sure that there's only one option. But consolation prize for him, he got in the Heroic Leap. There, it doesn't matter at this point. Spy. Okay, so that's... Wait, no. We need to misdirect, otherwise they both get on me. But then again, since I didn't get the fog, so I need to not ambush the first person. I didn't need to not ambush Seward. So that there's still well, actually, with that Heroic Leap, would a 3v1 despite that 3v1? Well, no, because if there's no great strength, that's already been done. 1 claw, he's dead, and that gets me the influence instead. If it must happen that way. Now, what's the best thing I can lay down? That'd be a mob. It's actually better than a spy under these circumstances. Lol. Place down that. So now he has to take a guess. Did I go Le Havre or did I go Nantes? No, still no renewed vigor. She has a newspaper, and he still has a couple things. The right person to ambush will be Seward. Okay. So it's only a 2-on-1. But 2-on-1 is still... yeah. He's gonna trade the forewarns to Mina now. If she doesn't have it already. So I'm not gonna be able to get any effect on her. Discarding a garlic wreath. Yeah. Alright. Comes down to one final fight. Can he deal 9 damage? There's no look. The only offensive combat event that's left is planned ambush. And there's only one since he discarded one. So one of them could have a planned ambush, but alright. Grand finale here. I just need to get 1 claw hit on Seward. Or just hit him twice in 2 different manners. I think we lead off with the Fangs. Is she likely to have a host? I know that he doesn't have a knife. Well, I suppose I don't know that. But it's unlikely, I think. So... Oh, garlic? Ow. That's bad. But now I know what his one combat-related item is. Okay. Does she have holy bullets? No. Good. Okay, we gotta play a bit more defensively now. Seward's been constantly moving, so I still don't think he has a gun. And all I need to do is get this kill. Claw, and he did crucifix. Okay, GG. GG, well played. He really managed to reduce my IDS there. In the end, he caught up and managed to reduce me to 5. But, oh. Wait. Nope, just ends. That was close. He nearly got me there. But that is yet another win, and with that third win, with that third win of the round, I have now fully secured my position as one of the top 4 for now guaranteed. So, nice try there. Nice try. Good HL. Nice try. Good HL. Our combat was too predictable. Predictable most of the time. Most of the time. Your combat was too predictable most of the time. In fact, post-game chat. VC. Let's see if Sky is willing to talk. I mean, yeah, that must have been very frustrating. So I won't blame if he says no, but that was no easy thing to do. All right. In which case, let's start a voice call with him. Hey, Sky. Good, nice try. You. Yeah, I mean, what did Amina play that turn? Her knife, I assume? Rifle? So you were playing around indirect claws, so to speak. Yes, and you were lucky that I didn't choose to do that, because my last encounter being what it was, Gul'dan would have just thrown. Saying Gul'dan would have just thrown. Yeah, but then of course I don't ambush I was gonna ambush Seward regardless what happened, since he had no events. Van Helsing wouldn't be able to trade to him first. I wasn't sure whether it was Van Helsing or Gul'dan who had it, but I knew that Mina didn't. Yeah, it, I'm afraid that you were far too aggressive with your hunt with jumping on me in 1v1 again and again and again. That allowed me to just keep knocking you down to low health, where you have to then stand back and recuperate while I make distance. You're yeah, you definitely were far too aggressive there. You should have. I mean, when I was if I was right next to you and you knew it, uh, like all those times with Mina, especially since, and yeah, you had the great strength, but in the end, that got used up sooner. But at the very least, you did manage to, you did successfully, uh, uh, reduce me to five health. So, it could have, yes, which is what, yes, but. And if it makes you feel any better, I did have a second clause to back up the first one, so in fact, even if you had dodged, I would have followed it up immediately with another. With due to like due to all the firearms and like you taking damage from wolves and such. That's another thing, by the way. You should always have a conventional weapon. And you hadn't been and Seward in particular hadn't been supplying much. He had just been too busy moving to catch up. So therefore, I felt Claws was a safe bet. So in truth, I would have had you regardless, but you would have gotten me 2 lower with Mina, so it would have been 3, and possibly 1. I'm not sure. No, would the garlic have triggered even as you died? That's likely what you would have done next. That's the next best thing. Yeah, it's definitely a very nice defensive item. But nonetheless, it's with it not being a weapon and all that, and me having a mob to conveniently put down to weaken Seward like that. It's possible that you may have wanted to toss one more card to make him be out of claw range. Oh, Seward had a knife too. In which case, yeah, yeah. In truth, I had half forgotten that since that so rarely happens, you know. But nonetheless, yeah, I think what cost you the game was just how you were just jumping on to me. That made it safe enough to stick around again and again and again. Like especially about Hamburg, notably. After the yeah, I mean, I will say that you discarding Vampire Lair would have bought you one more day. So that I think that was a mistake, especially with all the stakes you were having, and there was a large window of time in which you could have just played it. Yes, and it's that recklessness. It's supposed and it was that recklessness that cost you the game. My play style when my play style, as you have doubtless noticed, is that laying down is starting with things most of the time. In fact, I very rarely start with a vampire like I did. I There's Saboteur waiting. How soon did you have the forewarned? By out of curiosity, uh, not early. Ticket. Oh, well, I'm not. That would have been the excellent, like, sense of emergency, perhaps. That I mean, you said that you said that she had forewarned too. So yeah, you would have been able to take it. That would have prevented that. But then again, then I would have played the entire rest of the game differently. Uh, and then the fact that unlike this is probably a game to use as for future a reference as to how to go about doing a rumored vamp right away. Uh, as your first thing, because it is I seldom like to do that. It and sometimes I even layer them. Uh, like if you haven't found my trail by then. But since you did, and since you stepped on the bats, and then I was able to back into the spy to get full value out of the cards, it was more than worth it. In this case, it still cost me layer cycling, which here's a fun fact: the thing that I had to erase due to the escape of his back that was a fog. Was the second fog, which was why I didn't have it at the end. Uh, but and then the desecrated soils were buried so deep. I mean, as you likely know by now, I do love desecrated soil early on. It just the card draw part of it is fantastic. Uh, well, yeah, that's an ally. Yeah, even without that, however, you were in a sticky situation as as if uh, even if I hadn't revealed you, if I had like checked Santander since you were wolfram ashore from North Atlantic, uh, I mean I would have guessed where you were anyway, and I mean too easy. I mean you won't dare go to Galway, and I have Mina right on your heels, standing with you. Uh, and then I was able to deploy the rest appropriately. Uh, Saying that Gul'dan was ahead of you in Britannica, and you were just already low enough health. That game you lost due to just an overly long sea cruise. Uh, Not putting down any threats apart from CAG. I just had far too much time to prepare and deploy, as was suiting the situation. Yeah, and well, I had both forewarns. I so in any event, one way or another, I should probably start filling out the form. Uh, but nonetheless, it good work. If it's any consolation, I mean, do you want me to give you a small spoiler on how my match with Strider went? Okay, so you know the result. Yeah, and hard. I still had 14 health at the end. I did. I could have, but there were people approaching from that direction. I just wanted to just play it safe, keep getting the points, as I was about to, as I was close to having the points already. So might as well play for that bit of IDS. And Seward's the only one anywhere nearby without me going towards them. Might as well. But I did make sure to wolf form out in the event, because if in the event I had simply walked to Galaths, I didn't explain this to him. The fact that he did have CG, he told me later, he could have put simply a raw CG token down on it on a raw CG token down on Bucharest, and I would have had no choice but to do a wolf form onto Mina, who was in Budapest, which or rather, Klausenberg was. I don't recall exactly what my reasoning was, but it was still a threat, however small. Yeah, I had forgot. Yeah, yeah. That was the part I was forgetting. At the time, I had forgotten that I could just wolf form over Klausenberg instead, if absolutely necessary. It, so I was wrong in that, but yeah, the I think that more than anything else, it was the obfuscation, as it gave him several different options. Whereas an RV would have meant Mina could charge carriage, as you saw that she did have that, uh, and then walked onto me, as well as Stuart horsing and then walking from a direction that I had not placed any encounters. So in truth, it was just safer, uh, due to a bit of obfuscation, as there are more options for him to check. Yeah, which it yeah, which I was torn about whether to go to Seed or not from Nantes, but I think that and while my idea suffered, I thought it, I actually thought I was going to get higher, but whatever. One takes what one gets. It's a win. Yeah, but well, in any event, I let me real quick wrap up my stream, then we can continue this. But I think that's enough for in the stream. In any event, so thank you for watching, folks.
Hope you enjoyed the game. This was a very hard one. Uh, that start and that's why I very rarely start with a vampire. It's typically easier if you can filter layers sooner. So thank you